Hey, it's Cody. Today I have it's almost like a double themed rant. I mean, they go together, okay? Um First part is just social media fuckery to begin with. And kind of platforms and some bullshit about that. But then by extension, tarot and witchcraft community, like online community fuckery as well. Um, uh, this is just kind of, I don't know. I've been thinking about this a lot for months. And I don't think I really have anything profound to say about it. Just kind of wondering about my place in all of it. I'm sure everyone has these thoughts, right? Like, not what's my place in the world, but really like what's my place in like the social media landscape as it is right now. I'm not going anywhere. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say all this shit, but I'm a Sagittarius, and rage is still the sole thing that gets me up out of bed in the morning. Like, I will never stop being on these places. Okay, so I don't know where people who are watching this video right now here on YouTube have found me. If you found me here, or if you are aware that I was initially an Instagram page. My Instagram page is about to turn 10 years old in a couple months here. That fucker will be a decade old. That is wild. I've been doing this shit a long time. Um, and it's when you've kind of been on some of these platforms for a long time, as I'm sure a lot of you have, you just kind of watch the shift in the way that people engage with it. Um, and I guess the realization months ago. Okay, well, I'll back up. Before the Instagram has been dying, right? It's dead. I really feels it feels like being a vulture picking at like scraps at this point. Like, and I've kind of ignored it for years. Um, I made a TikTok account, okay? And I was late to TikTok because I'm like, I don't really know how I personally would make content, like tarot content, um, for something like TikTok, because I don't really like showing my face in videos and talking in them. Like, I say in a video face to face talking. Um, but I don't really have something to say very often for posts. I'm not a, I don't know, collective reading kind of person. I don't really have anything to say in that capacity. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I ended up making a TikTok account. It's, okay. I have a TikTok account that I've been active on for months. It has nothing to do with tarot. My TikTok account does not have anything to do with tarot. It's a whole other shit posting situation. Um, but I started that in April of this year. And that's when it really occurred to me how dead Instagram is. Um, with just the vitality of TikTok. You can post something and even say, you get 21 views. You still get comments. People want to talk. People want to engage. I get, messages about things. And it's one of those things where it's felt very different, and it made me want to post things there. I've made friends there that I talk to on a regular basis. Not even necessarily about like the theme of the bullshit that I'm posting about. And it really, I'm sure you've noticed, if you follow me on Instagram, if you have for any length of time, that I barely put any effort into that shit. Like, okay, talking, even just shit like talking numbers, okay? I'm not like a follower account or a follower count kind of person. Ultimately, I don't give a fuck. If 3 people see my shit and they like it, then I'm gonna keep posting, because my content creation is really, I make things because I like to make them, and then I post it, and if somebody else sees it and likes it, then that's fine. I like finding community, and Instagram, tarot, and witchcraft communities are not it for me. Now, do not get me wrong, the TikTok shit is not for me either. Like, the tarot and witchcraft community, I think online is a fucking mess to begin with. Like, it's really a disaster. Um, Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say here is I'm not saying at this point that I'm leaving Instagram. There's been a lot of ridiculous fuckery with Meta taking over and the getting rid of fact checking and just all of that stuff. It's affected Facebook and it's affected Instagram. And I'm not leaving Facebook. I have a personal account on there that's got, old friends and family members and shit. That's just not really a thing at this point that I see myself doing. I'm just letting you know that my activity on TikTok, I'm still gonna check it, or TikTok, wow, on Instagram is just really not gonna be what it once was. Really, what I was trying to say about the follower count. I have over 12,000 followers, and the engagement is just horrible. I'm not doing anything really different than I have been for years, and it's a good post if it gets like 60 likes. If I look at my insights and see the kind of like amount of people that the things are even being shown to, it's like 200. Like I don't know if some of them are bots. Every once in a while you notice the bot clear out and he'll get rid of a couple hundred or something like that. But like really, that's horrible engagement. And there are pages that get more engagement. And I did want to talk just a little bit about some of these accounts. I found out some horrible shit. Because I don't mind digging and asking sketchy questions. The tarot and witchcraft communities, by extension, on Instagram, and I think on a lot of social media, actually, there are accounts that pretend to be run by one person, and they, in reality, they have sort of like a face of it, but it's a team of people who are hired to take the photos, write the captions, come up with the ideas for all the stuff, but they're being presented to followers as this is one person with all of this shit. And it's one of those things where, what the fuck, right? Like, what? My account has only ever been me. I'm never gonna make it anything else. Like, why would I hire somebody else? Just kidding, I know they want the ad revenue and shit, right? Like, and that leads me to another one of my things. TikTok is bad about it, Instagram is bad about it. Like, they're all overrun by ads. I can barely see anybody that I'm following, and like a lot of the times, the people that I'm following, it fucking annoys me anyway. Like, okay, let's back up. This conversation is a mess. I have notes, and I'm not fucking following. When I first started my Tarot Readings from a Bitch Instagram account a decade ago, I was fresh out of yoga teacher training. Let me tell you, I was so mad. I'm like, the toxic positivity of that shit was absolutely revolting. Like, fucking repulsive. It was so... I was looking for something, like, spiritually. I was searching, for something, and it was, 2014 when I did the training, and I got away from the people at the training, and then started teaching some, and even the students, the other teachers, like, all of it, when I say to you that it was not for me, the toxic positivity of that shit made me sick. I was like, you know what, I can't, this is the wrong fucking thing. So, I don't even know, man. I struggled for a while, and then, I made a post on, like, it was a personal, Instagram account that I don't even have anymore, and it was about reading tarot cards. And I got a couple comments on it from just, like, strangers. And I was like, that was kind of weird. Anyway, I was like, let me move this stuff over to, like, another page. Like, I wanted a page that didn't have people I actually knew on it, because I don't like the people that I actually know. So, I ended up making that page. And basically, the entire thing has been me, like, slashing and swiping at this toxic positivity culture that, unfortunately, has done nothing but get worse. Not that it wasn't already a problem, but really, I imagined for myself to almost, I wanted to curate, like, sort of even just a small community within another community of people who were a little more realistic than that. Like, I'm a pretty pessimistic person, but unfortunately I'm usually right too, so, like, I don't, you know what I'm saying, right? I was trying to find community within community, and I really feel like for a while there I did. And I think that I still can. It's gotten really big. Just a really large community. Now, this is the part that's gonna piss people off. Okay. There's the toxic... Wow. The toxic positivity, sorry. I wrote notes, and I can't even fucking read them now. Hold on. Okay. Let's talk about the fucking scams. Now, not only it's a regular occurrence for me to have people sending me messages on Instagram being like, there's this account impersonating you. They can pretty much always tell because they'll do some shit like, oh, fucking love, blessings of love and light, your energy fucking called to me that you want a reading. And the fact that they opened the message with some love and light shit, for the most part, people are like, I knew this wasn't you immediately. So at least I've established myself that well, I guess, within the Instagram community. But Instagram doesn't give a flying fuck. Nobody gives a flying fuck at all these scammers. And it does get people sometimes. Like, it actually gets people. People send these scammers money. Okay, but that is still a separate issue than the other... Maybe scam's not the right word. Do you know... Okay. If you have been in spiritual sort of communities for a while, you will be able to attest to the fact that people just trying to make money off a community have moved in. Like, they can be very, very predatory. These people will move in and they've got classes and they've got fucking workshops and they've got a deck that AI shit out and they've got fucking, you know what I mean? It's all these quick things. Everyone's trying to make a buck off you. It's really taken away from like the community feel. That for me, at least on Instagram, I feel like I used to be able to get. It's, yeah, getting sold to the entire time. We gotta talk about Patreons, guys. I've already mentioned this once before, and I don't care if this pisses people off. Most people with Patreons do not need to have Patreons. They just don't. Like, I'm trying to lessen the amount of assholishness that I'm saying with, but it's just gonna... There are people that are like 22 making fucking Patreon accounts and wanting money because they're gonna teach you about like witchcraft and things like that. Like, okay. Sweetie. I'm 37 years old and I've been doing this shit for over 2 decades. Like, the witchcraft, the tarot, the shit. I would never, even at this point, presume that someone should pay me money for me to teach them something. Like, it's just the absolute lack of humility. The way that people just don't see... You gotta know something to teach something, okay? And it needs to be something that other people don't already know. And a lot of that comes from experience. I'm sick of seeing fucking Patreons. I'm sick of people hawking their Patreons. And I'm not saying all Patreons are bullshit. There are some really good ones out there. Another aspect, another facet of my issue with the Patreon shit is that even aside from the assumption that they are all going to teach you something, is also the way that you can be paying money in a Patreon and then they just don't deliver the things that they said they were going to. Like, real people are paying real money for this, and then for there to just be huge... Sometimes shit happens, but for it to be such patchy, just output of stuff, like, a lot of these people just aren't Patreon material to begin with. Does that make sense? Even if you do know, if you've been doing this shit for 40 years and you have, experience under your belt and you know things and you've learned things and you have things that you could legitimately be teaching to other people, if you're not the kind of person that can be steady enough and like self-starting enough, I guess, I don't know the right way to explain that, but to really actually continually and regularly be putting out content, Patreon's not a thing you need to be asking people money for. So that kills me. And seeing it everywhere, everyone's got a Patreon, and it makes me want to scream. But, okay. Which, okay, kind of leads to another thing. But this is, if the Patreon thing pissed you off, this is especially gonna piss you off because... Do you remember when, like, tarot and witchcraft communities had weirdos in it? Like, do you remember? Just some weird ass bitches in there, and you're like, what the fuck? But you know what? Those are the cool people. And I hate to be like, this has gotten too mainstream, but like, this shit has really gotten, it's gotten watered down. And there's just like it's mostly like regular people or people out looking to make a buck. Like, it's very rarely someone, I think, that actually... okay, I don't mean to say that regular people aren't, like, looking for, you know, depth in their lives in this same way that we are. But, like, I don't remember the last time I made a friend that I actually felt, like, some sort of connection with. Years. Well, no. Yeah, years. I have friends that I made at the beginning of my, like, tarot Instagram journey that I still talk to most days. But for the most part, none of these are people that I even want to talk to. I found weirdos somewhere else, and ultimately I think that it's kind of one of those things where once online communities get too big and just, it becomes, like, trendy, and you just get people in there that don't get it? I don't know how to fucking explain that. So, no, I am in a different, unrelated community. It's a lot smaller. And I've been having a lot of fun there. I'm not saying, like, oh, I'm not gonna be in tarot anymore, okay? Don't misunderstand that. But I miss there being weirdos, okay? I miss the access to weirdos, because now it's just like... Okay, anyway, I'm gonna move on from that, because... I don't want to be an asshole, but I am one. So okay, so really what I'm trying to say, I guess... There's a lot of things. I'm trying to say a lot of things here. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. Fuck Elon Musk. These weird fucking free speech fucking, kind of bullshit that's happening. TikTok being removed or not, I don't know. Supposedly there's supposed to be, like, a Supreme Court decision today. All of it's just wild. Basically, I guess my point that you might care about is, I'm not going to be spending so much... Okay, I really haven't been spending that much time, on posting on Instagram, or even scrolling on it or anything. But I worry about it a lot. I'm like, oh my god, I haven't posted to Instagram. Or, oh no, I'll think as I go to bed, I didn't post anything on Instagram today. But, like, fuck it, right? So, if you know about that, you know, if you even give a shit, if anyone even noticed, I don't foresee myself really putting more effort into that at this point. I'm staying here on YouTube. I'm not going anywhere from here at this point. And I'm kind of, maybe, I guess, diversifying my social media presence. Because, like I said, I've been part of this online tarot community for a decade. I mean, and as far as output of content, before that, I have been watching, you know, YouTube videos that were about tarot. I watched some of the first accounts coming up, and, so, I mean, I've kind of been part of this community, commenting and things like that for longer than that. But Instagram is not the end-all, be-all of this shit. Neither is TikTok. So I'm not promising that I'm going to be posting on my TikTok account if it gets saved, if it doesn't, whatever. The point is, I'll stick some links down in the description box to just different places I'm going to start posting shit. These will only be the tarot-related accounts. So I set up a Clapper account. Again, not connected to tarot, but if it kind of seems like more people are showing up there, then I probably will. I did just this morning set up an account on an app called Pixelfed. So, and that is a tarot account. I mean, the only thing I've got up is like a profile photo. I kind of tried to see if there were any, looked like there was anyone else, any part of the tarot community there. I saw a couple posts. Also, once again, in a different one of my guises, I have crawled back to the pit of Tumblr from whence I initially came. So, I don't really know what the tarot scene looks like in any of these other apps. But I do plan on, having a little presence there, and, one of those, when you can't put all your eggs in one basket or whatever kinds of things. You can't just expect it to always be one thing. So yeah, I guess I'm pissed off about social media in general. So yeah, like I said, I'll stick some links down in the comment box. I'll put my Instagram there. At this point, like I said, I'm not like deleting it or anything. I will be deleting my threads though. Fuck that shit. But I'm not deleting it. I'm just letting you know that my effort and my worry about my lack of effort there is not going to be getting better anytime soon. So, now, I gotta watch this back and even see if this makes any sense at all. I don't even know if I made any of the points I was trying to make. Yeah, so if you're still here, thanks for watching, bye.